So tell me a little more about membership here and how it works. I've seen some nice lockers on the way in here.
Well, what I love about Tobacco Plaza is that the only membership is that you come in here, buy a cigar, and enjoy it. We have lockers. We have about 90 lockers here. People rent the locker for the year. We have lockers inside here, lockers outside, all over the place, and they store their lockers. And we discount on the boxes of cigars, so it pays to buy your favorite boxes of cigars, put them in your locker, 3 or 4 different boxes, so you could have different choices. You're not smoking the same cigar all the time, and that's just convenience for our members and saving money in the long run. Is buying boxes of cigars and putting in the lockers. But we don't like the word membership because that makes it exclusive to certain people. And here at Tobacco Plaza, anyone is welcome. We just want you to come in, relax, buy a cigar from us. We're in the cigar business, and hopefully enjoy it and come back and buy more cigars or buy boxes. You know, we're in business to sell cigars, but it's not exclusive. It's to anyone that wants to enjoy a good cigar. Sit, relax, and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad we touched upon this because I've heard stories where people have like a membership and the members get angry just for one person coming in to try a cigar in the back, but the whole thing is based around sales and marketing. How does somebody know if they like the atmosphere if they don't have a one-time pass? They do it for gyms, and it just makes sense that if you don't have a membership, people are going to spend on the cigars. Like you said, they're going to put boxes away rather than 1 or 2 cigars.
We never liked that. That was always far beyond what we thought we wanted to be, just something completely out of the realm. So people said, oh, they open up a store and they're going to have a membership. Oh, great. What are they going to do with the people who aren't members? They're going to throw them out. I mean, you want to come in and relax and be with your buddies and meet people. And, you know, we have guys, so the people here, there's a guy here, he's a doctor. He's an extremely wealthy doctor. Just what happens, the guy inside, he's a doctor, he's a very wealthy guy. There's a guy sitting next to him, he's unemployed, he's not, you know, living on the streets, but he just happens, he's not in the same stratosphere economically as this other person.
Sure.
Do you think they care? They don't. They're talking about the cigar. They have something in common that they both want to relax and have a cigar at the end of the day, and they just don't care. So we can have garbage men, we can have doctors, we can have lawyers, we could have a guy who works at McDonald's, we could have a guy who works at whatever. You know, it's just not about that here. Let them, you make your living however you want. This is how I make my living. Come and enjoy. And that's how we've always felt. I thought to me a long time ago.
Good possibility that the unemployed person may find a job by networking too with other people.
That happens all the time. Business has been done here. It's unbelievable. There's been deals that have closed here that it's just staggering. Two guys never met. They talk to each other. 6 months later, by the way, what do you do? Oh, I sell medical equipment. You sell medical equipment? I'm in charge of the hospital in LIJ. I work in the... Oh, we should talk. You know, let's get together. So I mean, that happens all the time, which is nice. But for the most part, it's just guys hanging out, talking about sports, talking about politics, talking about the show they watched, and talking about cigars.
For a company like yours to keep innovating and bringing new stuff to the table, otherwise
you got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some cigars that are great. Padron, and I mentioned them before because they're really one of the best in the world. Padron, the 3000. That cigar's been around a long time. It's perennial. It's a perennial all-star. Every year we sell a ton of it. Everybody loves it. It's always good. It's very consistent. We love Padron, so they're always going to be there, and they're great. And even they come out with new things. But then you have the cigar I'm smoking, which I just lit up. It's called the Tres Reyes. It's a collaborative effort between 2 of the best manufacturers in the world of cigars, between the Pepin Garcia family and the Manny Quesada family, and the daughters of these titans of the industry. Their daughters, who are cigar smokers and master blenders, got together and made this Tres Reyes, this 3 Queens cigar. And that's a new cigar this year. This is one of the best cigars to come out probably in 5 years. It's a fabulous blend. What makes a good cigar? It's smooth, it's flavorful, it's consistently draws well, it's rich, it's well balanced. I mean, they really have such a winner in this cigar, and that's just one new cigar this year. Well, we brought in probably 20 new cigars this year. Practically every week or every other week you get a new blend or a new brand, and some of them go by the wayside. We try them, they're novelty because they're new and they're interesting, but maybe they're lacking in some areas, so they don't sell well, or they just, for whatever reasons, sometimes you can't tell why a pretty good cigar doesn't do well. We're always getting something new that's really great. We come in, we sample them with the owners of the companies, or we see them at the show, the big trade show once a year, and we bring in their very best that they have to offer. And it's, to be a cigar smoker now, there's more good stuff coming out. It's like you can't smoke fast enough to try all the good stuff. It's like walking into an ice cream place and you never had ice cream before, and someone says, this is ice cream, try it, like when you're a kid, and you try it and you go, whoa, this is unbelievable. What else do they have? Well, they have 31 flavors, and you want to try every one of them. Well, that's what it's like with cigars. Every day, it's a new thing. It's
and you still have
exciting.
your favorites too that you're kind of loyal to and don't want to get away. It's like, you know, trying skiing from snowboarding. It's you know, you want to lose that flavor that you've already had.
Yeah, and you can always go back, and the really good brands are the same pretty much year after year.
Consistent.
They're consistent, so it's very exciting to be into cigars right now. It's like if you're into wine now, or you're into food in New York. They're making things that if you want a little taste of the good life, and by good life I mean something enjoyable outside of work. Cigars is one of those things that you can just really enjoy yourself with. I mean, it's really a pleasure to do it, particularly nowadays. Was it 15 years ago? This would be a different conversation. I'd be saying the cigars are terrible. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of new brands. Most of them are not good because all they care about is making a quick dollar. It was a different story. That's 1996, 2012, 2013, and for the last 5 years, different ballgame. Now it's who can make the best cigars. There's not that many manufacturers. They want to outdo each other in kind of a friendly way, like, hey Pete, check out my cigar, what do you think? It's pretty good. Check out my cigar, what do you think? Holy cow, this is great. Alright, I'll talk to you in 6 months. You know, I mean, it's exciting. It really is very, it's a good time to be enjoying a nice cigar.
Do you think any of that comes from the rise of social media, Twitter, all these brands being out there promoting what they have out front of their competitors and their clientele? I mean, that could be a big reason why people are going better and harder. I mean, it's kind of my theory on it, but I don't know your take.
Well, what you hit on is pointing to the fact that the consumer is so much more knowledgeable now because of social media. And the cigars, the word gets out faster than ever. I mean, we get phone calls, did you get the cigar in yet? And I'll say, what cigar is that? Well, I just read on social media. Now, the owner puts it out, a little blog or a blurb, and we get phone calls, and then I call them up. I mean, I have the cell phone numbers of all the guys we deal with, and I'll say, I just got a phone call, and they read about this new cigar. Oh yeah, I just put it out on Facebook that I'm coming out with a new cigar, and it just blows up. But not only that they know about it sooner, the education, they learn so much about it before the cigar's even out. They know about the leaves. They know that there's Lajero put in there, and they'll know what priming it came from. I mean, the manufacturers are teaching the consumers and us, and people that don't know come to us, and you know, we learn from the manufacturers what's going on. And I think social media is the main reason for that.
Right? It's a big thing. It used to be. It's funny that, so you say now it's the like e-media, let's call it. It used to be print media. And what made the cigar industry so big? One of the really big things that was the Cigar Aficionado magazine. That was something that came out in print, and all the celebrities started smoking. If you know cigars, you'll remember when that happened. And that was a big deal. And that really, I would say, it educated people. Maybe not in the way that as a something of a connoisseur or aficionado myself, just having done it for so long, I've learned a lot about it. That it maybe didn't educate them in the way that I would have gone about doing it, because it used a lot of things like you try to taste nuance, that so I could call a flavor by some other flavor's name. So where I might say, well, this is rich. It's got a very deep flavor to it. It's got a little bit of spice to it. Well, the aficionado would say, well, this tastes like it's got a certain, like a barbecue taste and nutmeg and cedar, and I was never a big proponent of that type of thing. But what it did do was it got people thinking, and when they would smoke, they would try to taste for things. And it got them realizing that there's more to it than just taking a puff of smoke and blowing it out, that there's something there you want to taste for it. And this was the aficionado, got people very excited. Well, now it's moved on to the e-media, and they've gotten a wider variety of people's opinions about what they like and what the cigars are like. And so they've learned a lot more about it, and maybe a lot truer to what you're experiencing. And so if you read the blogs and you read the social media and you look at what's out there, you can actually learn a lot more now, I think, than you could years ago just by reading some of the print media that was out.